In this video, we're discussing the classic Californian accent.
Yo, bro, you think I can get that towel? Towel. Yo, bro, you going to Costco later? Costco? Yeah, I live in Santa Ana. Santa Ana?
Now, to be clear, not all Californians sound like this, but this is an accent that's synonymous with the state. In this video, we'll be breaking down where the accent comes from and some key pronunciation points. Let's get into it. Before California was California, the land was home to indigenous peoples. Then the Spanish came in the 1700s, leaving behind place names and speech patterns that still exist today. In 1848, everything changed. The gold rush turned California into a linguistic free-for-all. Midwestern, Southern, European, and East Coast voices all landed at once. No single group dominated, so their accents leveled out into something more neutral. By the late 20th century, distinct features emerged. Then, Hollywood pushed those sounds global. Now, with that historical context in mind, let's discuss some key components of this accent. So the first component is that California T-skip. Take words like Santa Barbara. You'll hear Santa Barbara.
Costco. We don't say our T's. Costco? It's Costco. Short, sweet, to the point. Okay. For sure. For sure. For sure. It's for sure. Yeah, for sure. Sacramento. Again, no T's. Sacramento.
It's time to address what everyone's talking about, because I feel like me as a Californian has an obligation. We say our T's. Like, they're talking about Californians don't pronounce their T's. We're just not extra with it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're, let's use a city in Orange County. This is a great example, okay? If I were English, right, I would say Huntington. Oh, I've never been to Huntington before. That's just extra. Yeah, there's a couple T's in the world, but you don't need to say them all. You can just say Huntington. Tin. I said T. Huntington, but the first one's pointless. You don't need that one. Skip it all together because we know it's there.
The second component is one of the more hilarious ones. It's that vocal fry.
I feel like the Californian accent isn't an accent. And I can't say that fully because I'm from California. So it's like, you know, people are going to be like, well, you don't think it's an accent because that's what sounds normal to you. But genuinely, I think if I were from another place, I would still be able to recognize that, like, okay, this is like kind of like an interesting way of speaking. But the Californian accent is so flat. Like, there's nothing special about it. No intonation. There's like nothing. And maybe like vocal fry, I would say. Like, I kind of equate it to darkness, where it's like darkness isn't its own thing. It's just like the absence of light, and that's what makes it what it is. But there's like nothing about it. You know what I mean?
Now, the third component isn't exclusive to California, but it is something that you will hear in California, and it's that uptalk. You hear it across America as well, especially at the end of sentences. It's something that you'll definitely hear in California.
And he's screaming at people with pointing his finger, and I had no idea what happened, so instantly I was like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And then, I learned that, and then especially, it's cool that I got to see footage. Like, now I know Chloe and Kim and Scott were all telling the truth because I get to see it of this, girl and guy that kind of started a fight with Kim.
And Kim was being very nice. Can I take a picture with the guy? Then the girl came over.
The girl came over, called Kim some not nice words, and, Scott defended Kim.
Now, the fourth component I'd like to discuss is that hard final R. You'll hear it with words like mother and brother. Not the way I say it, where I drop the final R. You'll actually hear that final R. So brother will sound more like brother.
And my boyfriend surprised me with a room filled with like 200 balloons and candles everywhere, which sounded romantic.
Yeah.
And great, and it was amazing. I mean, I walked in the room and there's like balloons everywhere and candles, and it smells wonderful, and we're like being romantic. But then like 2 hours later, you still have 200 balloons everywhere. We're like popping the balloons, and it's just not.
But see, actually, that's more you, because you're like me. You have that
I'm a
little
little OCD with it. So I was like, babe, when are we gonna clean up the balloons? I gotta put my luggage somewhere. And so the balloons are a great idea for the men. It's very romantic, but after an hour, it's just not such a good idea.
Now, the fifth component I'd like to discuss is the overuse of the word like. Now, this isn't exclusive to California, but it is something that you're likely to hear in California.
Low-key, like, this is like inspiration from like what we've been wanting to do for like so long. And something that like low-key, like both of us are like really, really talkative. Like, it's just like given that like when you start a new semester.
And the sixth component I'd like to discuss is the overuse of the word dude.
If you're wondering why Californians always say the word dude, here's why. Dude.
You effed up.
Dude.
That shit was funny.
Dude.
You nasty.
Dude.
Check him out.
Dude.
What the F?
Dude.
For reals though.
Dude, so I was walking down the street.
Literally anyone?
Dude.
I totally forgot. Because it's universal AF.
Now, as mentioned earlier, of course not all Californians sound like this, but there are enough broad generalities in California to be able to make a video like this. What would be interesting to know is what you guys think about this accent. Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this video useful, feel free to share it to somebody else who may find it interesting. If you like language, accents and culture, I've got a newsletter where I discuss this stuff every week. I'm going to link it down in the description. If you enjoyed this video, go and check out my other video where I discuss the Texas accent up here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I shall see you in the next one. Peace.